What's up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show, Game 2, NBA Western Conference Playoffs. I got my guy. Best of 7. I got my guy Anthony Sain here, answering questions live on air. Got my guy Anthony Sain, the tribal chief of Memphis Grizzlies fandom. What's up, Sain?
Man, I'm good, man. Glad to be here at Ghost River, bro, for another watch party. Beautiful weather out here, man. It's going to be a great night for sure. The Grizzlies getting ready to play Game 2 after a 51-point loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder the other night. A combination of the Grizzlies looking really bad and Oklahoma City being really good. Perfect storm for a 51-point ass whooping happened another night for sure.
Yeah, man. The Grizzlies kind of held their own and was at least competitive. I mean, we average lost 19.5 points for the regular season. Mm-hmm. And the good news is we can't lose by 51 again, right?
No, I don't think that's going to happen. Crazy things can happen in playoff games too, because once you realize you're down, you kind of pull your guys because it's like, you don't want guys getting tired. Mm-hmm. And if you feel like you do see something that could work, you don't want to actually make it work that game. You just kind of pull your guys, whatever. So crazy stuff can happen. You can lose by 51 in those type of games when you think you might have found something and you just save it for the next game.
Yeah, you saw like a lackluster effort from the big three.
From the very beginning.
From the beginning, it looked like they were the team on 48 hours or less of rest, playing the best team in the world on 1 week worth of rest. And so I think tonight, it's going to have to be a better showing from our big three. I think it starts with Ja Morant. Ja had 17 the other night. Ja had an uphill battle as they were clogging the lane and taking away Ja from what he normally does. Desmond Bain was dribbling it off his foot, and Jaren Jackson Jr. had 4 points and got basically played off the court. I think tonight it's got to start with Jaren. Jaren's got to be the one. Guys, we're having mic feedback issues.
Yeah.
Jaren's got to be the one to have the game tonight. In my opinion, he's got to take over and do what Jaren does, and that's go get buckets, get some rebounds, and just be the best big on the floor.
Yeah, he's got to – I normally suggest that our guys ignore the noise, right? Don't pay attention to what people have to say. Mm-hmm. I think Jaren does need to listen to some of the noise this time because all of the criticism that has came his way has been valid. I mean, it's all, legit. This is year – I want to say 7 for Jaren, and his probably 5th playoff series.
Yeah,
he's got to be better than this, man. And like I said, the Thunder have a good team, a good front court, but Jaren is the all-star in that bunch. You know what I mean? He's the one that should be setting the pace and should be able to kind of do his thing in this game. I'm looking super small beside you too, man. I know I'm every bit of 6'3". We stand beside each other, and we're both about the same height. I'm looking extremely small, minuscule here on the screen. But no, Jaren, but the same way, Jaren can't be minuscule, bro. He's got to be big tonight. He's got to come out and do his thing and not fall away in this game. Whatever he's going through mentally, he's got to snap out of it, bro. Yeah. It's clear there's something mental going on because I remember a time not too long ago this season when Jaren Jackson Jr. was able to dominate games. Yeah. And I don't think it's a offensive strategy thing because Jaren was scoring in ISO. It's the same ISO plays they're running now. It's not like it's ISO, bro.
Right. That's Jaren's game. It's ISO, and that's what it always been. They're running more for him. Mm-hmm. I just think that, like you said, whether it's the loss of the contract, the not being all NBA, there's something going on between his ears. It's not a skill issue because it's there. He can still get buckets. He can still get in the paint. It's just what is happening between his ears. Yeah,
he went to go have a conversation with legendary Michigan State coach Tom Izzo. Had a conversation with him. Yep. Once he had a conversation with his dad, he said? No, his trainer.
His trainer,
Christian Johnson. Had a conversation with him. He's just got to answer the bell, man. He has to have a better game than what he had the other night for sure. He cannot have the same effort he had the other night.
Do you think we see little Scotty in the starting lineup again after it worked so well in the first game?
You're being sarcastic, right? I don't think they need to do that again. But our lineup is so limited right now. I don't know if you go Santi, in a big lineup, but that's the thing that's so peculiar about our starting five, man, is that small forward has to be your best defender because Ja and Dez aren't, high-level perimeter defenders like that. So you got to have somebody that can play defense. So that's the only problem you have when you put a guy like Santi out there at the 3.
We thought that was going to be Vince, but Vince has still been a no-show for us so far late in the season, and we truly missed the guy over there in the arm cast and Jalen Wells. Mm-hmm. I think, the Thunder size was a big problem in game one. I mean, they bullied us on the defensive end. They were able to move Scotty all over the floor. Like, I think you have to at least try to go big tonight and tell Santi, like, don't be a revolving door, right? Harken back to when Desmond pushed him on the bench and just say, play some defense, man. That's all we need is just play some semblance of defense, even if that's just getting in the way.
And the thing about the Thunder is not only is, like, we're sitting here, like, scrapping up, like, what one guy can go out there and be that guy for us, right?
Yeah.
And the Thunder have, like, 6 dudes.
All those dudes,
So it's like, that's the difficult part about all of it.
I mean, this just shows what we've seen all year long, that they're the deepest team in the NBA, and they just hit on so many. I was talking about this earlier in one of our shows. Blessed City Media on YouTube. If you're here, like and subscribe. Turn your notifications on. Come hang out with us.
Yeah.
He's on there Wednesdays and Friday. I'm on there Tuesday, Thursday at lunch, daily grind in the morning. Come hang with us. But, like, they have complimented SGA so well with the guys that are around him. And I hate to give him flowers because he's an unethical hooper. But, like, they've got Hartenstein rebounding. They got Size and Wiggins and the big Jalen Williams and Chet. Like, they just can, like, build around him. And, unfortunately, the Grizzlies don't have that right now due to injuries, due to coaching malpractice, leading to some confidence issues. Like, there's a lot of reasons our best players aren't going to play tonight.
And see, that's another thing, too. I've had a lot of conversations with people who have different sides of the take as far as, Zach Kleiman and what do you do going forward? What does the roster need? And I'm like, our roster isn't built much different than our contemporaries. Like, Oklahoma City has a lot of guys that they drafted themselves, guys they got off the trash heap for cheap or whatever, or guys that were, G League level guys that they developed and turned into good players. They just made the moves this year to get
Caruso and
Hartenstein. But their roster is mainly guys that their guys are mainly just a bunch of dudes that are their dudes, that they drafted or whatever.
And they haven't been bit by the injury bug. We're one of the most healthy teams over the last couple of years, and it shows in the fact that they've blown the doors off of people this year. And the Grizzlies are still dealing with those repercussions. I was talking about GG today. I'm still all in on GG because he got robbed of an entire training camp, fall camp, season cutting his teeth. And the sophomore slump in the NBA is a real thing. You combine that with a pretty significant foot injury, and you've got a season loss. Same can be said for Vince. Like, Vince had a severe ankle sprain. I talked about it on my Bucks 2 cents, the hashtag #AskDrBuckets. That's a tear of the ligament. A grade 3 is a nasty sprain to recover from, and he's been robbed of a season. I don't know that if given health, if we're not having a similar conversation about the Grizzlies and their depth, and we wouldn't be playing the Thunder in round 1.
Right. And that's the thing, too. When you talk about the collapse of the Grizzlies and what happened this season, we finished the season with all the stuff that happened, losing to the Lakers, losing to Golden State, losing to Minnesota. You still finished 2 games out of third place.
Yeah.
Like, you were 2 games out of third. And we weren't terribly far from the rest of those teams. But it's those like you said, the depth issues we had and all those type of things that happens in the position that we're in.
I mean, you look back at that string of 3 games in a row where we lost on the final possession. And
the Knicks game, the Hawks game.
I was at that Knicks game. And if Taylor Jenkins had been listening, not being a fan like the rest of us, we were all screaming, take a timeout. And that 8-second, that doesn't happen.
Right.
And you're not in this position. But it's the cards we've been dealt. We've got to figure it out. And I just need to see some competitiveness tonight because there was not a lot of pride in the name on the front of that jersey. In the first game, it felt like we gave up and kind of sold out early. Like, I want to see the guys compete tonight. We're clearly outmatched. You can't be outmatched and not give the effort that you need.
Speaking of competing, Drew Gann says he thinks that he's not the only person under 6 feet in our Love City Media. We're going to do this right here. We're going to pause for the calls. We're going to stand up to show y'all. Ain't nobody over here, no we man.
Listen, man.
Hey, y'all better stop playing, bro.
We biggest here. Yeah, man. 6'5". We're the biggest in the game. There was some beef recently on Memphis Grizzlies media about who would win in media personalities who'd win in a basketball game. I think Blessed City Media's taking every.
Yeah, I ain't picked up a basketball in 20 years, but I can dog these little 5'3" dudes.
But I'll say this: I talked about Drew the other day. I've seen Drew walk into a outdoor court and not miss in a game of horse. He might be 5'5", but he is lethal from beyond the arc.
I believe it. That's another thing too. I'm glad you said that. That really another thing that shows the difference between us and the Thunder, just how far leaps and bounds they are from us.
Yeah.
The Thunder, they're good at what they do, and they do the same thing every game. They've been doing it for years. Coach Dagnall has a system there, a culture there, and guys know where to be. Yep. Their best players all know how to play with each other and off each other. That's something we're still not there as a team.
Yeah.
That we literally switched coaches in the middle of the season, and our coach was running this orphan offense.
The communist offense, as we call it.
No, it's like it's literally like all these guys, all these cooks got in the kitchen and just made this, this whatever hybrid offense instead of us having something that we go by. And that's another difference between us and them. Everything they do, they've been doing it forever. They're comfortable doing it. There's no nonsense with that organization at all. So, it's been a recipe to see what we see right now the entire season.
Yeah, and last year was a season that was lost. We're still trying to get our legs back from that. And there's just not been a lot of continuity. Ja and Jaren have played a minimal amount together in full capacity. Either Jaren's had the bum ankle, Ja's had the bum shoulder, like there's been injuries back and forth.
Right.
So we haven't really seen what that can look like. We need those guys to gel in a hurry. You had almost 48 hours to figure it out, a little over 48 hours. Like, I need to see a little bit more continuity in their game because they've done it before prior to the injury, prone season. We had seasons where Ja and Jaren were great together. In the 21-22 season, we were back-to-back 2 seeds when those guys were playing well together. They just got to find some semblance of that pick-and-roll game, and Jaren's just got to get his confidence in himself back.
I'm looking at a comment that my guy has right here. I see a lot of this type of stuff, and I just can't really subscribe to it. Adam, shout out to you, Adam. Adam says, man, Isolo better start using Gigi Jackson and Huff in the rotation. If they want to compete, that's the bottom line. We're so far removed from that, bro. Like, it's so late in the game to even think about trying to put Gigi Jackson in there and really expecting something like that. His season's washed, man, and Huff, he's not ready for this, bro. Like, this is the playoffs. We're talking about a guy who, didn't really play for too many teams at all last year. Didn't really play too much at all.
Yeah,
he's not ready for this. Like, and those are all guys that'll be good. That's the thing. I've been so far removed from how this season ends, man. I hate to be negative about it, but I've been knowing this is how the season is going to play out a long time ago. But the thing is, guys like Gigi, guys like J Huff can have a major role next year. Those are guys that can be key pieces.
Yeah,
I think you bring a guy like Marvin back.
Absolutely.
Ben said that. You bring a guy like him back. Luke Kennard, I think you move on from him. The big question mark, man, is what do you do with Santi Aldama? Do you bring him back next season? Do you try to move him in some type of sign and trade? I don't honestly understand the total rules of sign and trades because I don't know. Like, in a sign and trade, can I sign a guy to a 1-year deal and trade him?
So I think it has to be a multi-year deal. I think that's one of the stipulations because I looked at that.
Seems to be using that just to make expiring contracts.
I mean, that's it. Yeah. And I think it has to be a multi-year deal. I think there are certain teams that asked about him. You can get Santi and move to Brooklyn and for a Cam Johnson. You can get him moved to New Orleans, called and asked about him. Like, there are ways to move Santi, and then you're going to have a little bit of money. Saying we've never used the MLE, but it feels like this would be an offseason that we need to use it because we're capped by what we can do.
That's another thing too. Like, as far as Zach Kleiman is concerned, he has to recognize he sees the same thing we're seeing. He has to be able to react and do what he has to do to take this team to the next level. I think he understands that he took a swing and a miss with Marcus Smart. Now he has to fill that thing up. I think that Gigi Jackson's going to be a great player. I think that Jalen Willis is going to be a great player. But you need one more guy that can be a starter or reserve on this team. That's what I think Dorian Finney-Smith would have been if that trade hadn't gone through. A guy that could be the vet wing who's ready to play in the playoffs. Right now, then you would have had guys like Gigi and Jalen and maybe even Vince, backing them up or whatever. But he's got to do something to solidify this roster. I don't think it's a major overhaul type of thing. But he's got to get more guys and more versatile guys on this team going forward.
And last thing before I let you get out of here, I know you got somewhere you got to be. Thanks for being here. Listen, it's beautiful. Folks starting to trickle in. Cars pulling up. It's perfect. It's less than 80 degrees.
Slide on in.
Come on through. It's going to be a great night. Folks are starting to get here. Y'all turn out. But I was talking today with one of my coworkers at my day job, and the one position we ain't got to worry about for a long time, center. Yeah. Zach Edey has been that guy. Yeah, it wasn't pretty in game one, but like Zach Edey giving him the growth that we've seen so far.
It's going to be fun.
Heading into next season, he's got a full off season. I need him to go on the Memphis eating tour. I need to get him in the gym and then figure out how get a trampoline around his chest to keep his arms up overhead. But the center position with him, you got to figure out what you're going to do with Brandon Clark. To me, I love BC. Don't get all nostalgic and hate me. Love BC. But I can see Marvin Bagley sliding into that role because he does everything that BC does, but he's younger and he's a bit bigger.
Yeah, they're both about the same unhealthy probably. I didn't realize Marvin Bagley was that injury prone until I looked it up the other day. But, the whole Brandon Clark thing, it depends on his health or whatever. Right? I see him in a lot of trade scenarios, and I tell people this all the time. And I'll even say this to you. Like you were saying, like Santi for Cam Johnson. Like, why would Brooklyn do that? Like, why would they trade?
No, I
why would
get
they trade
it.
Santi Aldama for Cam Johnson?
I
But
get
it's
it.
like you have to think about that type of stuff. Like,
Yeah. It ain't 2K. You can't just
yeah,
put
it's
trade
like,
through.
why would somebody trade for Brandon Clark and they haven't seen him walk in 6 months? You know what I mean? So those things are gonna be. They can make some things happen, but it's not gonna be this. You know, trade everybody and get 6 brand new players. Like that's not feasible.
It ain't 2K. You're not turning John Conchar into Kevin Durant.
No,
no matter how
yeah.
much you want to try. I saw today, out of 1,758 players who have recorded 100-plus minutes in the playoffs, John Conchar sits 1,757. There's only one person that scored less than him in 100 playoff minutes. But we're going to have to use him tonight. Conchar's going to have to be that defensive rebound effort guy tonight. Like, we need all hands on deck to beat this Thunder. Any parting thoughts before we let the people go?
Real fast. My guy Adam, just because we disagree with you, brother, you ain't got to start taking shots at people. You ain't got to be on whatever you're on right now. We just don't agree with you, brother. It's cool. Like, you don't have to take the shots. We'll be fine. It's all good. Like I said, we got beat by 51 points. G.G. Jackson and Jay Huff aren't changing it. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Sorry, bro. It's all good, though, brother, but you don't have to take shots. But God bless you, brother. We're praying for you.
Appreciate you being here. Folks starting to turn out. Listen, it is a beautiful night, Sain. Thanks for being here, my guy. We're going to get this game tipped off. We're going to get some wings cooking in the kitchen. 827 South Main Street, the place to be tonight. Come hang with us. Go Grizz. Grizz win tonight?
No.
But we don't get beat by 51.
No.
Go Grizz.